All right, guys. Well, welcome back. I'm in here in the garage. I'm in here with old Greg, a Midwest family, and we're gonna do some work on the bike today. Need to do battery and oil in all three holes. So on these Harleys, you have your transmission oil, primary oil, and motor oil, and you have to do those all separately. I did already pull the battery out, as you can see, and I got a new one over here. So we've got a new battery, oil filter, we've got oil for everything. On these bikes you can use the same oil in the primary and transmission, and then we've got a new gasket here for the primary. So I think step one is going to be to turn this camera around because it's bright that direction. So I think step one is going to be to shove the battery in there and start the bike. I think I only rode this thing like twice last year, so the gas is kind of old, but we'll get her going. The sticker on the plate is from 2019. I do have a current sticker. I guess last year when I rode it, I was riding dirty, but we're gonna get this thing serviced and then I need to get it washed. But today, we're just gonna get it back on the road. So stay tuned, guys. Okay, guys, so here's the battery box right down here. I'll just have a battery cover here and it pops right on like that once you get the battery in. So we'll get that shoved in quickly. And hopefully it's charged. I guess I didn't really think about it. And this bike is really dirty. Anyways. These wires out here that I'm hooking up are for my battery tender here that I obviously didn't use appropriately. Go with my finger. All right, battery's in. Let's see if it'll fire up. She's in neutral. I doesn't like that old gas. Guys, we're gonna give it a couple minutes to warm up so we can drain the oil easy. All right, guys, we let it run for a little while. It definitely didn't like that old gas, so I just hopped on, threw my helmet on, and I rode down to the gas station. I filled it up with fresh gas. It definitely likes that a little bit better, and that helped to warm up the transmission and stuff like that, because sitting here the transmission is not going to get warmed up and we need to change that fluid. So I think we're gonna start. We'll probably just start with the motor oil, and we'll go from there. So let's get after it. This is not enjoyable down here, guys. I do have a bike jack, but then you kind of cover up a lot of what you got going on down here. Oh, it already came loose. In that big drawer on the toolbox, there's some gloves in there. Can you grab me a glove? If I can remember where it's at. I just don't want it to start dripping everywhere. Yeah, you can't get your hand underneath it there. There we go. There we go. Well, you take the oil, the dipstick out or whatever, the big black one.
The big black one?
Yeah, it's chug-a-lugging. There we go. Now the oil doesn't look terrible, y'all. It's dark, but she's draining. No shavings or anything. It is a magnetic plug. You've got a little magnet on the end of there, and I'm going to replace that O-ring on there also.
foil. You just like folded it a couple times and made like a boat.
Oh, that's what I'll do then. That sounds like a good idea. Get this back in the hole without dropping it in the hot oil.
Piece stuff together or something.
Oh. Alright, y'all. I grabbed some tin foil. This was Greg's idea. You guys can't even see me. Tight. How's that? Is that any better? Slightly better? Alright. So I grabbed some tin foil to make like a little drain thing. Because of where the oil filter is located. It just drains all over the front of the bike. So we got this, and we can kind of shove it up underneath that oil filter as we pull it out. So the oil filter is right here on the front of the motor. Right here, it's black, but when you start to unscrew that, all the oil just drips down there. So it's really annoying. Harley sells you this funny funnel that you have to like shove under there and then still try to get that off, and it's just a pain, and I'm not paying probably what they want, 50 bucks for a piece of plastic, I would guess. So we got the old foil job, I guess. Shout out to engineers Harley Davidson for this tight ass design. So as you can see, as I unscrew it, all this oil's dumping out right there. And that would be all over the front of your bike, which if you wash it up afterwards, it's not a huge deal. It's just really annoying. Not a great design. But we'll keep pulling this off and keep our fingers crossed that we don't drop it. Yeah, that was a Wix filter. I had a nice filter on here. Hot. Hot. All right, I got it. You got a little bit of oil, yeah. So when you're doing this, you want to put a little, I mean, really with anything, you want to put some oil on the rubber seal right there. When I change the oil on my truck, the filter sits like this, so I usually fill the filter up with oil, but since this goes in sideways, it's not really possible, but I will dump just a hair in there so it's not dry. Okay guys, filter's on. We're good to go there. We're gonna go ahead and fill this engine oil back up, and then we'll move on to the transmission. So you got your dipstick here to fill oil. You thirsty, buddy? Does that feel good? Don't go in there, kick it down the hole. I thought I was about to ruin my motorcycle. I fell off and I was like, oh no, can't go down the hole, it's too big. Ooh, about spilled that all over the floor. Wouldn't make it look any worse in here. We're just gonna go ahead and move on to transmission now. We will check all capacities once we're done. That looks really clean.
Yeah,
that didn't need done at all. Wow.
Wow.
That looks brand new. Well, either way.
We're gonna change it now.
Yep. Yeah, that stuff looks very new. Have to change that O-ring too, but I'm going to stand the bike up, guys, so it drains completely. What do you think? Should I put some 27-inch 8 hangers on there, get up here? No? So I guess I don't even know if I've really told you guys much about the bike itself because I haven't used it much on the channel. This is a 2012 Harley Davidson FLD Switchback. It's a Dyna. The frame is a Dyna. The model family is a Dyna, which they stopped producing, what, like 2 or 3 years ago now? I don't even remember.
I think it's been like 3 years.
They killed the Dyna off. This came factory with the bags. It had a windshield on it. I put the fairing on. It's a Memphis Shades fairing. I think it's a Clockworks windshield maybe. And the handlebars are 2 inches taller than stock. I put the crash bar on there. And I put the auxiliary lights on the front. It didn't come with those. It just had the single headlight. And I got like 3 different seats for it. I think in the last video that the video of us working on the boat, I had the other seat and the sissy bar on the back, but it's a solo seat. So really basic bike. It's just got a slip-on muffler. There's no motor work, no tuner, factory air filter. So maybe this summer or something we'll do some stuff to that, but just need to get it on the road and wash it, maybe I'll get it detailed or something.
What?
Craig, you want to detail a motorcycle?
Yeah, if you detail mine. Shit.
Did you ride it home? Did you ride it out there or you trailer it?
The one time it ran last year, I rode it from work to the house.
How many miles of gravel is that?
Like 3.
Yeah, that sucks. His bike's black too. 3 miles down the gravel road. That bike will never be clean.
It don't matter. You could go 2 ways to the pavement, and either way, it's like 3 miles. You're right in the middle. So that
it doesn't suck, but it does suck for certain situations like that. You can't have a nice vehicle. Like if you had a hot rod, if I had a hot rod and I lived that far out, I'd be, I need an enclosed trailer to drive it 3 miles to the highway. It all depends on what you got, really. I don't keep my stuff as nice as I probably should, but I use the crap out of them. I don't know, this bike's got 28,970 miles on it, and I bought it new, so I put all the miles on. I've ridden this thing to the Black Hills, although not for Sturgis. Maybe we'll go to Sturgis here, who knows. I rode to Wisconsin for Harley's, what was it, the 100th anniversary? I don't even remember. It was a few years back. 105th anniversary? I think it was 100 years. 110 years.
Something like that.
100-something year anniversary. Me and my wife rode out there. She rode on the back. We rode to Milwaukee in 2 days, I think. We took 2 days out, and then we jammed all the way home in 1 day. From Milwaukee to basically Omaha, Nebraska. So that was a bit of a rough one. What else have we done? We rode to the Canadian border. They wouldn't let me in, but we went to the Canadian border. We hit like Minnesota and all these other places, and we did it in like 55 hours or something like that. We were just hauling. She was beat after that. Not enjoying the bike life. That was like 4th of July. It was hot. But I bet that's drained good enough now. Alright, put a new O-ring on that plug there. This one doesn't, little bit of metal shavings on there. Nothing too bad, right? Any kind of regular use, that's what it's gonna look like, I feel like. But that oil definitely did not need to be changed. There is a good torque spec on there the manual gives you. It's like quarter ugga-dugga is what you want to put to it. Not too tight, just tight enough.
Believe it or not, the ugga-dugga torque spec, a lot of people have no idea what that is. I was talking to a contractor about it once. Like, what's the torque spec on that there?
Tell the camera.
On that there valve.
You don't want to talk to the camera?
No, I don't want to talk.
Aww.
Nobody wants to see my face.
Greg, you're a beautiful man. I enjoy your pretty face when it comes over. Okay, where were we at with this?
Bro love. You're over there sweating like a...
Me?
Yeah, like a pig, man.
I'm not sweating, am I?
Yeah.
Shut your whore mouth. It's because I'm fat and I drink too much.
Sweating like
And I'm wearing a hoodie for whatever reason.
Sweating like a whore in church.
So the manual, and like I mentioned before, it gives you two different options. You can use their transmission and primary and chain lubricant, or you can use 20W50 oil. You can use the same oil in all 3 holes.
He said 3 holes.
Give him the 3-hole fill. Does it have a 28-ounce thing on there? Or do I just use the other one? I should probably clean this thing out.
28 ounces. So what's in a quart?
There.
What's in a quart?
32.
Alright, so if you take 28 and take away... If you got 32 and take 28 away, you got 4 ounces left.
Well, I don't want to open a new one. I got one there.
Well, you're going to have to open one anyway.
I got another hole to fill, don't I? What's in the primary? As you can tell, I'm professional. Right to there. I'll stick it in the hole. And open sesame. Looking at focus or what?
Huh?
The way it focuses? Are you picking my nose?
I was trying to pick your nose.
You can pick it for real. I share. Yeah, this is pretty convenient.
Measured amounts.
Yeah.
Look, you can fit a quart in it looks like.
Yeah.
You spilled.
Man, I got oil on my super clean motorcycle. It'll melt off when you start it, right? All right.
That was very funny.
Let's go to hole number 3. I haven't spilled all over the floor yet, so that's a good sign.
Fingers crossed.
I'd be kind of mad if this is super clean too. Well, that's dirty. That needed changed. Yeah, and there's a little metal on that one. Not too terribly bad, but probably more than the rest of them. There's all clutches in there, so it could be clutch junk too.
Wheelies.
Yeah, I pop crazy wheelies. I don't know how to ride like that. Don't expect that. I can crash pretty good. Fall over. And forget to turn my stuff off, so we have to push start my bike down the highway. And
The rain.
where was that at? Oh, we went out for breakfast that day at the Ozarks.
Yeah.
And I left my bike on while we were eating breakfast.
Yeah, and then it wasn't raining.
No.
It was. Yeah, well, yeah, your bike was dead.
Yeah. But at least you can push start a motorcycle. Alright, we'll swap out this O-ring. I mean, this thing is hot. Maybe it's because the metal expanded a little bit. I wouldn't think it'd be that much. And there we go. So I bet I could reuse that one, but we'll go ahead and replace it. I need to replace this gasket. And so there's your clutch. You can adjust your clutch with all that stuff. Your locking nuts or whatever. That looks like it's been adjusted though. I don't know. Yeah, Harley sells like this another thing that you set in here, and it's like half a dealy whopper, and you can then pour your oil in. Kind of a silly design, but all right, we'll get get this guy shoved back in here wherever it was supposed to go, right there. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fill this thing with it leaning over. We might have to stand her up, but so it takes a quart of oil. Approximately, we'll give it approximately 1 full quart of oil. I'll let you know if it's gonna like flow over. It might stay in there.
Thank
you. Yeah, I would think so. But yeah, can you stand the bike up? It's about to start coming out. We'll probably actually look at the torque specs for this one. I do have a torque wrench, but I think good and tight's probably good for these. Alright, we got everything changed out. We're going to start it up, let it run for a second, check the oil level, make sure nothing starts dumping out of the bottom of it, and then I'll take it for a rip up and down the block quick. That fuel pump sounds loud.
This seemed kind of loud.
I feel like it's always like whined, but that seemed really loud. Sweet.
Well, I don't know. What's the average lifespan of a fuel pump on one of these?
No idea. Probably not great when it sits with like super bad gas. I should probably have let that settle a bit.
You're gonna have to wipe it off anyway.
I think I'm just gonna run her up and down the block anyways right now. I mean, we know it's got enough in there. We'll just take her for a quick rip and we're back in the garage. I'm on my street, so I don't probably have to do this. I mean, legally on the road, yeah. Don't want to fall and die. I need to get a new helmet this year. This, what they say, every 3 to 5 years. I've had this since probably close to when I got this thing anyway. Super cool sunglasses. Yeah, that's kind of loud. I think we're good. I'm gonna have to do this all over again on the other bike.
You gonna run that one?
Huh?
You gonna ride that one?
Yeah, I'm gonna ride it this year for sure. I mean, it's the coolest thing I have, really. At least in my opinion. And like I've never ridden that one on the channel. At least last couple of years ago. I don't even remember. I rode this to go fishing one time.
Yeah,
Should
I
I get a
remember
haircut
that.
or no? Is this the look or no?
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think we're gonna go ahead and close it out here. Bike runs, everything is serviced, we're legal. I need to wash this thing and probably clay it. I've got some scuffs on this bag that could probably, I don't know if that's gonna buff out. It's pretty rough. So I don't know, maybe we'll get some paint work done on this. I've kind of like considered wrapping it, but I really haven't looked into that. I know that there's people that have done it. These bikes do tend to get a little hot above the motor since they're air cooled. At least this one is air cooled. Harley does make a few liquid cooled bikes now. Yeah, it needs a wash. I need to check my air pressure in the tires and stuff like that, and just kind of give everything a once over, make sure everything is good and tight and whatnot. And then I think for the next video we're gonna do a little bit of motorcycle camping. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks to Greg for coming down here and providing moral support while I worked on the motorcycle. And yeah, it's all done. Had a good time. Got it out. Ripped it a little bit, and she's good to go. So, anyways, guys, stay tuned for the next adventure. I'll see you in a bit. See ya. Boom shakalaka.